Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's Mary Jane. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like the video. It'll be greatly appreciated, for real, from the bottom of my heart. So anyways, we're going to be talking about Southern Charm. Season 4, Episode 4. So basically it starts off with Landon. Landon's at Thomas' house. She's hosting Thomas' polo party, basically. And basically Thomas' polo party is called, let me see, what is the name of it? It is called, the name of his team is called some bullshit. Where is it? It's called the Brooklyn Plantation. The Brooklyn Plantation. That's why, like, this season's just, Thomas is just acting like a total racist. And plus, when, or he's showing racist characteristics. So basically, like, at the end of the episode, he tells Landon, you're OC, you're one of us. Basically, it's just too much. So anyways, Landon is hosting Thomas' party. Basically, she did a wonderful job. She put everything together. Thomas is happy. Thomas feels like Landon is the perfect wife. She's the perfect hostess. She's elegant. She's one of him, basically. And basically, she has the etiquette of rich people, and she knows how to be a Southern belle and act and carry herself. So basically, Thomas is looking at her like, hey, she can be my wifey. So anyways, basically, what really happens at the party is, Austin, he shows up with Chelsea. He picks Chelsea up. He takes her to the party. Basically, it's a date and everything. Chelsea tells Cameron and Whitney that that she's on a date with Austin. And, Whitney's like, this is fucked up. This is shady or whatever, basically. And, Whitney, he can't wait to go run and tell Shep, because Shep said in this episode that he did have sex with Chelsea. And basically Shep says that the reason why Chelsea's acting the way that she's acting is because he had sex with her, and then the next day he bounced and he went to Rhode Island for a wedding, then he went somewhere else. So basically she's just trying to get back at him because he fucked and bounced, but he didn't see it that way. He was just busy, and he really wants to continue to have some type of relationship or something with Chelsea, basically. But I believe that Chelsea is trying to make Shep jealous with Austin, and maybe she could possibly be falling for Austin. Who knows? I have no idea. So who do I think is a better catch? Austin or Shep? If I had to choose, I would choose Shep. Only because, like, if I'm going to date somebody that's a drunk and all this other stuff, I would rather date a rich drunk, because I believe Austin is a drunk, allegedly. We know Shep is a drunk, allegedly. You know what I mean? So if I had to choose, I would choose Shep, a rich drunk, basically. But that's not going to happen, because I never have to choose. I'm not going to be in that situation. But I'm just saying for Chelsea's point of view. But Chelsea's also, I don't know if Chelsea's wealthy. I know she's a hairstylist. So maybe her and Austin have a lot more in common, basically. So anyways, go back to Thomas Ravenel's party. And so, one thing that, Craig pointed out that Landon is acting like she's Mr. Ravenel's wife, and she fits right in, and it brings her back to her old life when she was married. And Craig called it. He nailed the hammer. He nailed the nail with the hammer, basically, because Chelsea said in her little confession that, oh my God, doing this party for Thomas, it makes me feel like when I was a kid, again, like having these wonderful parties and hosting parties and having all these wonderful, beautiful things. And then also reminds her when she was married and it had all these wonderful, beautiful things as well. And hosting parties and being like the elite, being the elite socialite. So Landon is like daydreaming about that with Thomas, basically. And Thomas is daydreaming about that with Landon. So they're going to hook up and they're going to get together, basically. So Catherine was right when she said that Landon was after her man. And she was correct. So Catherine is not just delusional, but she was delusional. She tried to keep her kids away from Thomas last season. You can't keep the kids away from a rich man like that, especially a rich man that was governor and Charleston. Can't do that. It's not going to work. So anyways, let's get back to the party. So Thomas is getting off the horse because they're playing polo or whatever. And so Thomas is sweating. He's all tired. Landon goes over there and with Austin. And then And Landon asks, Thomas to tell Austin what is the basic rules of the game, basically. And so Thomas is loving this because he got his beautiful wife, Landon, but she's not his wife yet, but he's picturing it, and she's picturing it as well because she's enjoying herself. So anyways, who's his name? Craig comes along, and he kind of put like a little bit of water on Thomas because it's hot as hell out there, and Whitney's like, it is just awful. So awful hot, basically. And so anyways, Craig is standing there, and Thomas's kids come by in their stroller with the nanny or whatever, and one of the kids, the oldest daughter, is saying, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and Thomas is just ignoring her. So then what's his name? Craig goes over to Thomas and said, "Hey, you need to say goodbye to your daughter because she's talking to you." And Thomas is like, "Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be bothered. I can't please every fucking body." So the kid is screaming Thomas's name, and the nanny's pushing the kid towards the car to bounce, basically. And Thomas is like, "I can't be bothered." And basically, Craig is like, if Catherine would have behaved like that, everybody would have been on Catherine, calling her unfit mother, being upset. But since Thomas does it, everyone is like, "Oh, that's just Thomas, he's playing polo." So you can just dish your kids when you're playing polo. You know what I'm saying? And he already did his kids where they don't live in the same house as him. They live in a guest house because he don't want them messing up their $30,000 carpet, basically. So anyways, Craig does have a point, but Craig kind of got to mind his business because everybody's shitting on him because he won't be an attorney. So basically, Craig tells Austin he feels it's fucked up, and he tells Landon he feels it's fucked up too as well. Landon said, "That's just Thomas. That's a Southern thing. You don't know anything about Southerners." You know what I mean? Basically, Landon will kiss and eat out anybody's ass that's wealthy, so she doesn't have to do anything, basically. She just wants to be a socialite, and she wants to be a Patricia. She wants to be Whitney's mother, basically. But anyway, so then, Whitney comes over, and so Cameron comes over, and then so Cameron pulls Craig to the side, and she's like, "Craig, what's wrong?" And so Craig tells her what Thomas did, and so Cameron's like, "You know what, Craig, you really need to worry about your own life. You always want to butt into other people's life, but worry about yours." But she doesn't say that to Craig. She just says that in her confessionals, basically. And so Craig is like, and so she was like, "Yeah, it is what it is. No big deal. Don't worry about it." And Craig is like, "I just want to fucking leave. These people are ridiculous. Just every day they only go after certain people." And he feels like he's one of the people they go after. They go after Cameron. And they go after Catherine. They don't go after Cameron. Because basically, he doesn't really belong there with them. He's different. He thinks you shouldn't do that. And plus, he grew up in a house with a mother and a father that were loving and respectful. And Thomas really don't want it. Thomas wants his kids, but he doesn't want the real actual responsibilities, basically. But he's financially wealthy and financially set where he can hire people to do what he needs to be done and only be around the kids when it's a good time and in a fun time. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, motherfuckers. So anyways, after that, but what I would say, I found funny at the party is when Cameron had Thomas's youngest baby in her hand or whatever, and she passed the baby on to Whitney, and Whitney was like, "How do I supposed to burp it? What am I supposed to do?" Whitney looked all awkward, and basically Cameron said in her confessionals, Whitney holding a baby is like him holding a mop. Things that never gonna happen, things he's never done, and it's not gonna happen at all. Because could you picture Whitney holding a mop? Hell fucking no. He has servants his whole life, basically. So, but I like the analogy that Cameron put together. Like, Whitney holding the baby is like Whitney holding the mop. Can't picture it, and it's not going to happen. So anyways, so I guess that was the only thing that really stood out to me at the party. And so then, Austin and Chelsea are sitting together. Basically, Austin did pick Chelsea up from her home and bring her to the party. Basically, that gets out to Whitney and Cameron that Austin drove her there, basically. And so they're having so Austin and Chelsea are sitting at the table having a good time eating. Basically, Whitney pulls up, so does Cameron, and they're taking notes because, Cameron got to do her due diligence. Cameron wants Chelsea to marry Shep. Shep is financially set, and Shep needs to settle down. And basically, she wants him to be with a good woman, and basically, Chelsea will be a good woman for Shep, which Cameron believes, basically. So anyways, we'll see what happens. So anyways, after that, Craig ends up talking to, I already said that. So Craig and Catherine meet up. Basically, they meet up at a restaurant. Catherine orders water. Craig orders, a Diet Coke, basically, because there's no alcohol involved, especially because she's on camera and she doesn't, and she's basically on some type of probationary thing where she can't drink or do any drugs, or she will lose visitation rights. So basically, Catherine's explaining to Craig that she only sees her kids two weekends out of a month, basically, and she has to do all these type of steps and go through all these things to actually see her child. And then, Craig says, are you ever gonna get 50-50 custody or anything like that? Custody. And, Catherine goes, I don't know. I just got to follow all these rules. And so, Craig says, well, you better do it. You better do it. But Craig's still not worrying about being an attorney. I don't think Craig wants to be an attorney. And I don't think that he's going to be an attorney. I could be proven wrong. He can be an attorney now because this is already filmed. So anyways, the show's already been taped and filmed, so he could have went back to law school or passed the bar exam, who knows. So anyways, Craig let her know some gossip, like, Landon was hosting Thomas' polo party, and she felt like she was Thomas's wife. She felt like she fit in, like everything was back to normal. And Catherine was like, I nailed it. I told you that. I know when somebody's after my man. So her and Craig is in agreement that Landon wants some dick with some money and a ring on it. You know what I'm saying? That's what she wants. So anyways, they have their, and so, Craig tells, Catherine about how Thomas treated the kids, and it's nothing that Catherine can do because Thomas has full custody and full control, and she has to go through all these hoops and everything to see her child. So basically, Thomas is doing the same thing to her that Catherine did to him last season, but only this point is the courts are involved, and Thomas won't even bother to go drop the kids off. When he dropped the kids off, he won't even go to the gate. But you know what? Sometimes it has to be that way, so there's no drama. So anyways, Chelsea goes out on a date with Austin, and they drink these painkiller drinks and they get fucked up, basically, and they smooch, they kiss or whatever. So Shep is back into town. Shep meets up with Whitney. Whitney's kind of like telling Shep that, Austin and Chelsea's been chilling and hanging out and all that good stuff. So now Shep is like shaking a little bit or whatever. But before I get to that, Naomi meets up with Cameron. She tells Cameron that she's really tired and fed up with Craig. He needs to do something. He needs to stop guarding, stop being a kitty cat holder, stop doing all this bullshit and focus on law, basically. And so, Cameron goes, well, the other day when I was talking to Craig, he told me he's putting a portfolio together to be a real estate agent. Ha ha ha. Naomi didn't know anything about it, and she's just like so frustrated because now she's feeling like Craig is delusional. Now she's feeling like what Shep was saying about her boyfriend Craig is absolutely true, and she's just fed up with it. She wants him to focus on a career, a path of bringing money, bringing something, basically, because she's working, she's going to school, she's handling everything, basically. I don't know what kind of savings Craig has, or he has any portfolio, or he has any stocks and bonds. I don't know how he's getting his money, or if he's just living off of Naomi. I don't know. I have no idea. None of us know but Naomi and Craig and the rest of the fucking people on the show. So anyways, they have that conversation, and Cameron was like, you need to hold him to the fire. You need to make sure that you need to talk about it. You need to put your foot down. And basically, Naomi doesn't want to put her foot down. She feels like she makes it uncomfortable for Craig or whatever. So anyways, boom, we move on from that. So we get on to what's his name? Whitney and Shep. They meet up and they're having a conversation, and basically Whitney is kind of like throwing it out there that Chelsea has been hanging around with Austin a lot, but basically he was like, I don't know what's good, and Shep is like, come on, man. And Shep is like shaking. He's kind of upset, and Whitney's like, what isn't that dirty, man? Because Whitney is stirring the pot, but in a very casual, professional, elegant way, because that's how Whitney handles herself. But I say so far in episode 4, Whitney has turned over a new leaf, and he's been acting really different. And I guess the summer vacation smoking marijuana really helped him out, basically, because he's more chilled and laid back. He's not really wilding out as much. He's not wilding out at all. He's just, throwing a little salt here, a little sugar there, just putting, laying down little tracks or whatever. So anyways, Shep is like, you know what? I hate to lose. I like to win. Basically, because Shep is a winner and he wants to win. So basically, once he leaves, he calls up Chelsea and finds out what she's doing and what's going on. She was like, oh, I feel so sick. I got a hangover, blah, blah, blah. So Shep wants to ask her, you know, who she was out with, but he waits till later on to ask her that. So Shep says, you know, I need to get my hair cut for my birthday, blase and the third, because Shep is going to be turning 37 soon. And he's kind of like feeling like maybe Chelsea is the one, maybe she's not. And maybe she's trying to get back at him because he didn't call her after they did the do, after they did the hoo. So anyways, Shep calls her and she was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So then he goes and gets his hair cut and he talks to her and he was like, yo, just let me know what you're doing. I'll let you know what I'm doing. Because Shep is almost acting like he's asking her to be his girlfriend, but in a official way, like, yo, tell me what you're doing, I tell you what I'm doing, because basically he just wants to find out if she's dealing with Austin. So he does ask her, who did she go out and get drunk with the other night? And she says Austin. So he was like, so what's going on with you and him? So we're just hanging out. And so she was like, but Shep, you hit everybody. Shep said, no, I have standards, but he says in his confessionals that at 2:30 everybody looks good, but basically, you know, he's not out here whoring like that, basically. So anyways, so Shep is getting ready to throw his birthday party, and basically everybody comes to his birthday party except for Catherine. Catherine doesn't show up. So it's on the boat. Shep shows up with funny looking pants on and all that bullshit. And basically the light of the night is, you know, Chelsea's trying to make Shep jealous with Austin, and Shep is trying to make Chelsea jealous where these other girls that want to take that took pictures of him. He's talking about a threesome, sitting on their laps, having the girl sit on his lap or whatever. So basically Shep is doing his thing to make her jealous, and she's doing her thing to make him jealous. So basically, you know, Chelsea goes on below deck on the boat, and she has a conversation with Austin. She tells Austin, you know what, I really want to get to know you. I really want to see where it goes from here, basically, because on their date they did talk about they do want kids, they do want to get married, but not right away. They both like to drink, they both like horses and all that other good stuff. So, and she goes, and Chelsea goes, I don't want to come in between you and Shep because I don't want to break bro code or whatever, but you know, let's do this. So they do it. And so then Cameron's run around trying to repair the relationship and trying to get Shep and Chelsea to get together. So basically Cameron thinks that this is going to put fire under Shep's ass to actually go after Chelsea or whatever. So basically Shep is like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not even going to go after her. It's not going to hurt me or whatever, because you know what, he saw Chelsea down there on the boat with Austin. So he's like, forget it. It's a wrap. But basically, you know, Cameron points out, do you want to be like Thomas? He's like 50 something years old. He don't have any shoelaces on. He's trying to act like he's young. And then Shep goes, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And then Shep goes, nah, I don't want to be him. So anyways, Thomas is downstairs on the boat too, with Landon and with Whitney and Thomas is having a conversation. Thomas is saying that he wants to marry Landon or whatever. He wants to be with her. He likes her body. He likes the way that she's shaped. He likes everything about her. Landon says, I like Thomas too, and I'm kind of attracted to him as well, but he just brings so much baggage. You know, he has a bad reputation as well, and I don't want to get played. So basically, we know they're going to get together at the end. So basically, you know, Shep is kind of hurt in a way because he's seeing his friend go after this one girl that he actually wants to build something or try to build something with. And Austin feels like, okay, Shep doesn't really care about girls or whatever. And Austin talks to his friend about it. His friend goes, Shep is not going to care. And basically Shep be knocking women and smashing them down almost every other night. But he should have said something to Shep, because Shep says Austin is his protege, you know what I mean? So Austin, you should talk to your hero and let him know what's good. So anyways, please like and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated. Southern Charm is some bullshit, but basically the next episode seems like it's gonna get heated.